I am so tired of these heavy topics on the weekends, so we're going to close out Sunday with a fucking bang. The FDA launches investigation into Lucky Charms after reported illnesses. Yep, we're here because I don't want to do any serious topics. The Food and Drug Administration said the investigation scores of reports from consumers who claim they got sick after eating Lucky Charms, like many a kids just eating all of the marshmallows out of the box, out of a fresh family-sized box that you convince your parents to buy. Like the rest of that fucking cereal was an absolute dog shit, and the only reason people bought it is because of the marshmallows that were in there. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. Maybe some, I don't know, Mexican was scratching his fucking balls again when he was picking marshmallows off the marshmallow tree. Agency confirmed to several news outlets this week that it is currently reviewing and investigating reports from thousands of people who complained via a website of vomiting, diarrhea, and nausea. I bet you those expelled substances from the human body were of interesting colors, okay? And nausea after eating the General Mills produced breakfast cereal. Thousands of people have accused Lucky Charms of making them sick since late 2021 on a consumer website, iwaspoisoned.com. Oh my god. With a number of reports submitted in April of 2022. What the fuck? Experiencing stomach pain and diarrhea after one bowl of Lucky Charms, wrote one person who said they purchased a cereal at CVS in New York City. Well, that could be a multitude of things coming from a CVS in New York City, so I wouldn't put any credence that it's specifically Lucky Charms. It could also be from that homeless guy who rubbed shit on your face in the subway. I tried it 2 more times to see if it was actually the cereal and had the same symptoms. Oh no, it's probably just your AIDS flaring up. My daughter became very sick, 102.7, gay rock. Temperature, vomiting, stomach pains, and chills. She isn't able to keep sips of water down. Well, you should buckle her in then. I asked her about everything she had eaten and drank in the past 24 hours, and I couldn't figure it out until I saw the news report about Lucky Charms. Oh my god. I am just wondering, it's like, okay, a kid's not going to be able to remember everything they eat during a day. All I ate today was a bowl of Lucky Charms for breakfast. What else? I ate nothing else. What's with the dirt in your pocket? All right, I was eating worms with my friends in a field. Okay. Wrote another on the site. My daughter had a bowl of Lucky Charms around 10 a.m. and started throwing up at around 3 p.m. How slow is that kid's digestive system? Fuck's sakes. The FDA told outlets that the investigating reports and the agency's CFSAN event reporting system. All right. The FDA has said so far that it has received over 100 reports about Lucky Charms in 2022. Is it all central to New York City? Like, what are we talking here? The agency spokesperson told the Washington Post that isolated incidents and complaints of a less serious nature are being looked into and that they may be used during a future inspection to a company to help the FDA identify the problem areas in the production plant. Spokesperson for General Mills says that those reports will be investigated. Ain't that so nice? We take the consumer concerns reported via a third-party website very seriously. As seriously as you can take a handful of reports in regards to a breakfast cereal. Through our continuing internal investigations, we have not found any evidence of consumer illnesses linked to the consumption of Lucky Charms. But what about those 2 anecdotal stories? We encourage consumers to please share any concerns and tell us about your favorite flavors. Do you like the one that's just, do you like cocoa Lucky Charms? Do you like the ones with more marshmallows? Do you like the ones that are honey flavored? But just share your stories with General Mills to ensure that they can appropriately be addressed. What is your favorite shape of mushrooms? Do you like the ones that with the exclusive horseshoes? Earlier this year, Abbott Laboratories issued a recall for lots of Similac and other baby formula. What does that have to do with anything that were being made at as planned in Sturgis, Michigan? Okay, that might have something to do with it. The FDA said that they're investigating the connection between the infants who were sickened by Cronenbacher, Salazaki, whatever, and consumed formula that was made at Michigan factories. Well, if they're also producing Lucky Charms there as well, you might have a link up. Something else that I noticed there, and it's like, okay, in Canada you'd expect the prices to be a little bit off, and I think that that's about appropriate price for a family-sized box. Is that a family-sized box? Because if it's any bigger than that, that's not a very fair price. But that's about the same amount that we pay up here. I just checked the local flyer, and it's like, okay, cool, that shit's on sale for that price. So the same price. That seems to check out, but seems awfully high depending on where that's from. California, okay, that totally makes sense, but it looks like you're paying quite the premium in order to just be poisoned, and that's what some allegations are being raised as well, that major U.S. retailers accused of profiteering, raising consumer prices amid soaring inflation. Well, if you can't get the product, that creates a scarcity, and you have to make up for lost profits because Biden is fucking up the supply chain, which is still a problem, by the way, but nobody wants to talk about that. Shut up, don't talk about that. But a major and some of the largest retailers in the United States have been accused by a nonpartisan watchdog organization of profiteering from rising inflation levels across the nation. A new report by accountable U.S. companies, including Costco Wholesale, Walmart, Target, CVS, Kroger, and TJ Maxx, parent company TJX companies, are among those accused of utilizing increasing inflation rates to slap higher prices on their products while simultaneously seeing near record margins in 2021. That could be a problem, okay? Like, I've seen some products raise in prices recently, but it's not too bad. Like, it seems pretty seasonal. I'd be able to have a better grasp of the situation in the summer, but even up here in the remote reaches of Canada, it's not too bad so far. But yeah, no, it's there for sure. The report states that the companies made at least $24.6 billion in increased profits during their recent fiscal years as Americans continue to face the economic impacts of the pandemic. Of course, just go ahead and shift it from one excuse to another. Oh, we got to charge higher prices because nobody's working during the pandemic. Oh, we got to charge higher prices because of supply chain issues. What's it going to be in a few years' time? Oh, you got to charge higher prices because Orange Man bad again. Accountable U.S. said it studied the financial statements of the nation's top 10 retailers over the past 2 years, which include Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's, Dollar General. What? And found that the companies collectively increased profits by billions during the most recent fiscal years. There you go. There's some stocks that you should invest in, just in case you want to know, for a total of $99 billion. Oh, if they would have tried harder, they would have got into a cup. They would have had another digit to tout. And even worse, these same companies increase spending on shareholder accounts by nearly $45 billion year over year for a total of $79.1 billion. Oh my God. The organization cited Amazon, which recently announced price increases for Prime subscriptions. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday as well. Up $20. Not too sure what it is in the United States, but in here in Canada it is. As well as a $10 billion stock buyback program to replace its previous $5 billion stock repurchase authorized by Amazon's board in 2016. Elsewhere, Walmart, which Accountable U.S. said created price management and mix for an increase in its gross profit rate, which saw full year earnings of $163 million over 13.6 billion. Wow, good job. While its shareholders' handouts grew by $7.2 billion to nearly $16 billion in fiscal year of 2022, with plans to spend at least $10 billion on stock buybacks for the fiscal year of 23. The report singled out Costco's chief financial officer, Richard Galanti, who said in May of 2021 that some inflation has passed through onto consumers, as it always does. What's specific about that? Consumer prices at Costco rose between 4.5% and 5% during the first quarter of the fiscal 2020 year, according to Forbes. Yeah, it seems to make sense. Costco, as touted its record-breaking $5 billion net income, grew its shareholders' handouts to $4.5 billion to over $6.2 billion, and has continued to see increases to its net income after earning $1.2 billion in net income for the most recent quarter two fiscal year 2022 financials, up $348 million from the prior year. Yep, of course, this is what happened. What's a through line on this? Well, okay, you have all of these big companies that were out there. Okay, so during the pandemic, which companies were allowed to stay open? Exactly, the ones that are there, the ones that are reporting record prices. Don't worry, it's a pandemic. It's a pandemic on the middle class. Okay, that's a supply chain issue. Yep. It's going to be tough for working class people to get supplied with literally anything if you allow these fucking crooks to continue. So there you go. Just buy your Lucky Charms and just sit back and chew on your junk food, live out of a box, live out of a bag, and don't worry about anything else. Good old Uncle Sam will take care of you because they have your best interests at heart, now don't they? With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.